It's at the school of Amen, Ipit Rasut, or Ipit Asut, and other temples where the priests also baptized the initiates once they finished 40 years. This is long before John the Baptist. Now, this temple called Karnak today, or Ipit Asut, as our ancestors called it, going into this temple, as I said, these are temples or books in stone. The pylons are pages of history telling of our story. But as you go into the temple, you see the ram symbolized as Amen. That was the Zoot type as Amen. Now, we see Ursa Ma'at Ra, Septepen Ra Ramesu Ramariaman, a little practice you can say it too. Here we see that was his throne name, as they call Ramsey from Ramesu, is now under the ram, symbolized as Amen. 2,000 years ago, our ancestors worshiped Amen, and his symbol was the ram because the sun was in the constellation of Aries. I show this because let's go to Christian art, and you see the ram in the European Roman Christian art. Why is that ram in their Christian art? Because they were deifying and worshiping Amen. Is this animal worship here? If they have the animal ram represented as Amen in their art, and it's not animal worship, why they come into Kemet and say animal worship and pagan and heathen and polytheism and all these other type of negative terms? Let's look at this. When you also go and look at and see the ram or the lamb over, as you see a Roman character of a Jesus here, it looks like. But when you look at that figure with the ram or the lamb over the shoulders, it was taken from Kemet when I showed you when the ram or the lamb in ancient Kemet, where the king became one with Amen and the Zoot type was the ram. But let's go over 4,000 years ago to the tomb of Merope. In the tomb of Merope of the 6th dynasty over 4,000 years ago, that existed thousands of years ago on your reliefs in the books in stone with the ram or the lamb around his head long before the Roman art. There's a couple reliefs that I want to point out to you just to evoke some thought, because a lot of things I'm going to do is to evoke some thought, to give you some ideas, concepts that were here long before the Western world was even in existence. Merope, Mastaba Merope, and this is Teti. And Merope is the Grand Vizier, or the Tajeti for Teti. All right? So that's very important. So I'm going to show you, yeah, the Tajeti. He's a Tajeti. That means Vizier for Teti. Okay. We'll leave an opening in case people have to walk through there. I'm going to show you here, as you see the priest with the ram around his neck. But when we look at Leonardo da Vinci's artwork, you see Leonardo da Vinci's artwork with the lamb or ram around his neck. You can see where the origin of that came from. But this is carved in Merope's tomb over 4,000 years ago, long before Leonardo da Vinci's European image of the Jesus that you see right here. But even when you look at the European Jesus, let's go see where Leonardo da Vinci copied his European Jesus from. This is one of the oldest pictures I've found of Jesus, and it's in England, with the lamb or ram around his shoulders. As you see with this relief, goes back over 4,000 years ago, where you are now in Merope's tomb, to see that this was an ancient spiritual concept. These were the priests who went to school for 40 years. So you see this as ancient African origin of the lamb and the ram that's equated with European Christianity and also with the Christ. But they never show you this. I can't say use the word Jesus because that's Greek, but I would have to use the African Hebrew word, and that's Yeshua that you see right here. But the emphasis I want to put on the fact that this is carved in stone, brothers and sisters, thousands of years ago, that ends up in Western European Christianity today. But here's the black man that they never show you, that Leonardo da Vinci copied it directly from African people, that it was thousands of years before Leonardo da Vinci. You see it on the temples of Africa. This is one of the sculptures of Europeans of Jesus as a good shepherd with the lamb around his head. But when I went to England to the museum, the brother saw me with all the equipment, and he said, "Brother, what are you all about?" I said, "I'm here to document our story. You got anything in here?" He said, "I'll help you out." He took me in the back room where the tourists don't go. And you know what he showed me? Where they copied it from right here. Wow! Oh, yes, brothers and sisters, huh? It's time for the liberation of your mind now. Huh? This is what they got locked up in the museum in England right now today. showing the true African Jesus right here, where the Europeans copied from this one to make their version of it right here. Even Reverend Bar Shango said that Jesus was from the tribe of the Black Panthers. I noticed that there was a Black Panther down by his legs. Huh? Well, I like how y'all did that lean at the same time.